Hey everybody, so yesterday we learned about leaving spaces in between our words and letters while we're writing. Today we're going to be talking about what gets a capital letter when you are writing. So this is actually going to be a 2-day lesson, and today we're just going to start by talking about some of the things that get a capital letter when we write. So let's get started. The first thing that gets a capital letter when you are writing would be the beginning of the sentence. Beginning of the sentence. Anytime you write any sentence, it's going to always begin with a capital letter. So for example, if I wrote, the dog can run. When I start my sentence, I'm going to start with what? A capital letter. So the starts with a capital T. The dog can run. Run. The dog can run. I started my sentence with a capital letter. So the beginning of sentences start with a capital letter. Okay. Another example could be the pig likes mud. Okay. So I'm going to begin my sentence with a capital T for the pig, the pig likes mud. Mud. Alright, so again, my sentence begins with a capital letter. Alright, what else begins with a capital letter? Well, or needs a capital letter. It may not, well, yes, it always begins with one. Okay, what else needs a capital letter? Well, when you're writing, if you write the names of people or, that was a crazy R, pets. So anytime you write the names of people or pets in your writing, those things need a capital letter. So if I wrote, for example, Ari. If I wrote Ari's name, I would need to start Ari's name with a capital letter. So I would write capital A-R-I. Ari. I started with a capital. If I wrote Mrs. Clark, my name, it needs a capital letter. Capital M-R-S, period, and then capital C for Clark. Okay, so I actually have 2 capital letters in my name. Capital letters go for names of people and pets because you and your pets are important. So anything that's really important needs a capital letter. So your name always begins with a capital letter, your friend's name will always begin with a capital letter, and your pet's name will need a capital letter. So if I was going to write about Tank, I would need a capital T, and then A-N-K. All right. If I was going to write Zelena's name, Zelena would need a capital Z. So anytime you write a person's name or a pet's name, it needs a capital. Now, if I was just writing like the dog can run, like I did up here, I didn't capitalize dog because dog, well, it could be any dog. If you're going to capitalize the name of the pet, it has to be its actual name. And dog is probably not the actual name of the dog. It may have a name like Spot or Spaz or something. So you don't capitalize when it just says dog or when it just says pig. Those are not the specific name of those animals. If you're talking about the specific name like Tank, he is my dog. Tank can run. Then Tank would get a capital letter in his beginning of his name. But if you just have like dog or pig, those aren't like the name of the animal, so it does not need to be capitalized. So remember, names of pets and people both get capital letters. So Ari started with a capital A, that's his name. Tank started with a capital T, that's his name. Mrs. Clark had a capital M for Mrs. and a capital C for Clark because those are both part of her name. And then Zelena had a capital Z because that's the beginning of her name. So names of people or pets get capital letters. All right, what else gets a capital letter? Names of places. So if you were writing about places, those certain places need capital letters. Names of places. Okay, for example, if I wrote a story about going to Dairy Queen to have a blizzard, I would need to capitalize Dairy Queen because that is the name of the restaurant. So capital D, A-I-R-Y, and Queen. Okay, Dairy Queen. Those are parts of its name, the dairy and the queen, two separate words, both the title of the restaurant, so they both get capital letters. If I was writing a story about going to Hawaii, Hawaii is the name of a place, so it would get a capital letter, capital H. Okay. If I wrote about my town, Mineola, Mineola is the name of the place I live, so it gets a capital M. Mineola. If I was writing about Mineola Primary School, Mineola, primary, and school would all get capital letters because it's the title of the place. Okay? Now, if I was just writing about going to the beach, beach would not need to be capitalized because it's not a certain beach. But if I said I went to the Clearwater Beach, Clearwater and beach would then get a capital letter because it's the certain name of the beach. But you don't have to put a capital letter if it's not telling the certain name of it. Like if I just say I went to the park, park does not need to be capitalized. But if I said I went to the Faulkner Park, Faulkner and park then get capital letters because it tells the certain name. Okay? So that could be another one I could write. I could write Faulkner Park. If you've ever been there, it's in Lindale and it has a nice lake around it or a little pond. Faulkner Park gets capital letters because that's the name of the place. It's the specific name. Okay, so anytime in your writing that you have names of certain places, those are going to get capital letters. So Dairy and Queen both had a capital letter because that's the certain name of the place. Hawaii has a capital letter because that's the name of the state. Mineola gets a capital letter. That's the name of the town. And Faulkner Park has capital letters because that's the name of the place, the park. So names of places get capital letters. All right, what else gets a capital letter? Well, there is a certain letter by itself that is always capitalized when it's by itself. Do you know what letter that is? The letter I. Anytime you write I by itself in your writing, you are going to capitalize it. So if I say, I like ice cream, I need to have a capital I. Or my mom and I went to get ice cream, you need a capital I. Anytime I is by itself, it should always be capitalized. All right, so far today we have learned about these different things that get capital letters. The beginning of your sentence always starts with a capital letter. The name of people or pets. So anytime you're writing someone's name, it gets a capital letter. Names of places. Anytime you're writing about a specific place, it needs to be capitalized, like Dairy Queen or Hawaii or Mineola. And then we've also learned anytime the letter I is by itself in your writing, it needs a capital letter. You never write a lowercase I by itself. Tomorrow we'll learn about 3 more things that need capital letters when you are writing about them. Today, I want you to practice writing in your journal, making sure that you begin your sentences with capital letters so you can continue working on a story that you have been working on, or you can start a new one in your writing journal. I can't wait to see what you're working on.